Okay, it is officially time for the Ratchet and Clank My Thoughts. Okay. So, to be truthful, I've honestly pretty much expressed my thoughts pretty clearly throughout the entire Let's Play. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that I loved it, but I hated it at the same time. So first things first, I knew that it was a remake, that it was not Ratchet and Clank 1, but it was like a remade version of it. Now, I kind of thought that they were going to stick a little bit closer to the source material than what they actually did. Such as one, they brought Dr. Nefarious into this one, and he actually technically became the main bad guy. I did not like this. 2. Dr. Nefarious was a actual living human being instead of becoming a robot. I did not like this either. I think because of the way that we actually killed him, I think that's how he probably becomes a robot. But nonetheless, I dislike that greatly, and I would have preferred if they just kept him a robot the entire time. And like it just angers my soul the fact that he was at all a human, living creature. Especially because they basically kept him the exact same, except for make him living. I wish that they had, like, the original boss, like when you actually face Drax from the first show. The planets that they cut out, such as the wood-cutting planet, there are other planets. There was the one planet where I don't know why you can't go back to after you beat it, which is a planet with the plumber, which is also a lot different because in this one, the plumber helps fix your ship, but in the other one, you get a free ship from the mayor. Now, obviously, when it comes to graphics and so on and so forth in that regard, it's 10 times better because, the technology is 10 times better. We're making it with, much better advanced technology, and the ideas are a lot different than back then, just things like that. And because of that, the graphics-wise, animation-wise, things like that are a heck of a lot better. But there were some things that I saw was sorely lacking, such as expression. On a lot of people's faces, they actually in some of them, they really lacked any real expression when others were pretty good with it. Mostly Clank and Ratchet above all else, but I have seen them do expressions really well. So I don't know what went on in this game, but they just didn't do it as well compared to others. Another, just some more random things. I don't like the fact that we beat the Snaggle Beast so very soon and they replaced it with the other monster. I kind of understand because they did make that monster basically the average enemy on that planet, but nonetheless, I still kind of found it a bit stupid that, like, you fight the Snaggle Beast so soon on when before that was like one of the final bosses. And like how the fact that whole planet, the planet that the Snaggle Beast was on, is now just completely gone. I'm fond of the new storyline of when it comes to us being like actually part of the Galactic Rangers now, and how the other guys that like we've seen from other games are in there. I don't know why the monkey isn't here, though. I feel as if he should be, because he was in the original third game. And he was a part of the Galactic Rangers. I wish that we were actually capable of going into the Phoenix ship a little bit more than just repairing it with Clank. I don't like the fact of what they've done to the Clank robots, to those gadget bots. They, like now you have the powering one, the jump one, and then the bridge one. And in the past, you just have these little bots that you'd have to go that would help attack enemies for you, but they'd also be what you'd need to open up doors. And like, I'm fine with them adding in this different mechanic, but I would have made it more like Ratchet and Clank 2, and I don't know if it was in 3 at all, but Ratchet and Clank 2, where the bots had a specific function for each one, and they just followed you around, and it wasn't like you had to pick them up, throw them there, pick them up, throw them. Like, no. I would have much rather preferred the strength bot that picked up the doors, the bridge bot that did exactly that. He became a bridge, but then he could, detach himself from the bridge. There was just all the bots, in my opinion, were a lot better when they were like that, and I preferred it when you could control them to attack, to stay still, to be on guard, to just act as if you're not even there. I much rather preferred when Clank could do that over picking up and changing what type of bot each of the bots are. I will admit, yeah, it added in a whole new mechanic, but it was stupid. It angered my soul. I do love the weapons choices that they've made. Of like what weapons went into the game, how you upgrade them, the fact that like each one get to level 5, and then they changes the name and gains a special ability. I find each of those that really cool. As I said before, I like the weapons that they've chosen and everything. And I thought that for the most part that was good ideas, but just there are just subtle little changes that I just don't really like all that much, such as, how the main character now has like the weird father figure creature thing that stays in the garage and helps him out, and how that guy has a brother who's in the resort planet, and that's why we go over there. And it's just, I don't know why, but it rubs me the wrong way. I don't really like it compared to, like what the original story was, which you originally did there. I honestly think was a little bit better. I would have preferred if they did just kind of stick to the original a bit more than what they did, because like that's, I don't know why, but I guess that's kind of my own fault for just having this perceived motion in my head that they were going to be more similar than what they really were. But I just I'm not fond of the decision-making process that they have fully chosen. But overall, I think that it was, a pretty good game. And just wait 1 minute, because I just unlocked the Rhino. Okay, but let's get back on track. So, yeah, as I said, I do love the game, but still, I just, with overall decision making a bit closer to the original wouldn't have been all that bad in my mind. I also would have preferred, things that, were there before that aren't anymore, that, really bug me, honestly. Like, on the second planet, you can't go into that underwater area anymore. I said with, the snaggletooth. Just that, the fact that, they changed the way you get the Rhino. Now, I'm not 100% upset about this, because, they've actually made holo cards a pretty big part of the game. It's a huge part of the game, surprisingly. It's what allows you to get the mega weapon for every single type of weapon in the game. But the fact that they made the holo cards to unlock the Rhino, and then once you get it to level 5, you just automatically get the mega weapon, annoys me. What I wish they did is they did the same thing it was before, where you had to spend so much money, and then you'd get the Rhino, and then you needed to collect all the cards to get the mega weapon. And another thing that really bugs me is I realized that this Rhino is the same as the 4th or 5th Rhino. Why is it not the first Rhino? I want it to be the Rhino from the first game. Why did we skip so many Rhinos exactly? And it's just it truly, honest to goodness, bugs me the fact that this is just the thing that they did when it comes to the Rhino. It could have been so much more. There's also like there's only like 2 ship segments, and I'm not saying I dislike them, but I really don't think they're good either. I really wouldn't have exactly put the ship segments in the game, to be truthful, or I would have put them in but had more. The only time you're in the ship is when you're destroying the water things on that planet, which, guess what? That's not how you did it in the original game. Before, you had a cannon. I guess you sort of used the cannon on the Winter Island, which I'm pretty sure you did the exact same thing back then in the first game as well. But yeah, before you used the cannon, you didn't use your ship. So I'm upset that now, or at least, yeah, before you did use the cannon, I'm like 90% sure. Maybe you could have potentially used your ship, but I don't think so. But yeah, there's that. And then there's the other time when you were just saving that main city. And that was just, The ship one was just kind of stupid. The water island one was kind of cool, but still also pretty stupid. And it just really bugged me. And oh my god! Oh, the Rhino! Okay, yes, I know. I was just complaining about what Rhino it is and how we got the Rhino. But that doesn't make the Rhino any less cool, okay? The fact that it also plays music when you're shooting it, no, it is not playing the song that I am playing. But, actually, it might be. I don't really know. Whatever! But it plays the song while you're shooting it as well. Plus, I have that going on in the background just to make it, or not exactly in the background. Whatever! Whatever, the Rhino's awesome and I want to use it more, okay? But, back to the main topic of what I would have really changed. So, as I said, I do love the game. I do think they made a lot of decisions with it. And if I had to pick between this game or a remake of the original, I would have picked the remake of the original and this game. Yeah. To be completely honest, I want to see them both. I really wish that I did see the original completely, just the exact original remastered with how you got the grappling hook is different before you got the grind boots. There were just little parts of the game that I really do miss, such as like in the original game you got the grind boots on that space, like all the rock area. The parts with Clank when you controlled those robots, I think, were better. Whenever you saw the Blarg employees, whenever you saw them doing just like the random, like the scientists that were testing weapons, experimenting on creatures, so on and so forth, when you saw them doing that, and then like some of them get eaten, it was really comedic and just cool at the same time because yeah, it was just really cool. And then like the weapons that you got were different. That is the only thing that I preferred that they did in this game than like what they did in the original, is the weapons that they chose. Because the weapons in the original game, some of them were pretty stupid, such as the glove that you like charge in to punch someone. You have the one glove that's literally just a decoy. What else is there's the rocket launcher that you actually control the rocket, and you can like go through majority of the level just controlling the rocket around corners and such, which was kind of difficult, but I tried to do it all the time just so I could level up the weapon. Of course it could only go so far. It had a certain amount of fuel. And I missed the final boss when you fought Drek in his giant space suit thing. like the few planets that aren't there anymore. I wish I got a full like remastered version of the first game, but then they also created this game being like, or you could pick the remake. But to be completely honest, I really wish I just saw like the original version, kind of like with these new weapons and this new ideas. Would have been nice, but I am definitely still happy with the game. But the things that I would have changed is I would have made it a lot more like the source material. In the sense of we can keep some of the new things, but there's a lot of them that I just think were either stupid or unnecessary, or just something along that line that I really would have preferred to have the original game in front of me. Like, I wouldn't have even put Dr. Nefarious in this game whatsoever. The Clank parts, I would have had a little bit less of the Rangers, because the Rangers were actually in a good amount of, like, your missions. I would have had a little bit less of the Rangers. I'm fond of how a lot of things ended up, but at the same time, as I said, I still would have preferred it if they stuck with the source material a lot more than anything else. But honest to God, besides sticking with the source material more, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a great game the way that it is. It did have a lot of the things from the original. It looked absolutely phenomenal. The weapons that they chose, the majority of them are really cool and really good, and I loved using them. I loved upgrading them. It just made you feel really good using the weapons and working to progress them. Like, everybody loves a progression system. Like, come on. And because of that, I would say that it really saved the game, in my opinion, of just like how much I was upset over the fact that it wasn't more like the source material. But yeah, so that has been my opinion on Ratchet and Clank. So thank you all very much for watching. If you agree or disagree with anything that I have said about the game, then please leave it in the comments down below. And besides that, I will bid you all adieu. Goodbye.